Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to Valcartier, about 25 kilometers northwest of Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. This area is a sprawling military base, which was established in 1914, with trails that wind through forests, fields, and along rivers and lakes. Seated in the Laurentian mountain range, the base has a humid continental climate with mild summers and cold, snowy winters. The boreal forests here host sugar maple and yellow birch trees that drop their leaves each fall in a colorful surrender to winter. The evergreens that stubbornly resist the cold include black and white spruce. As you may well imagine, with an abundance of water and warmth, berry bushes like blueberry and raspberry abound along any body of water to feed animals ranging in size from mice to black bears. Summer not only brings warmer temperatures, but longer days as well. The increased energy from the sun drives plant growth, leading to an abundance of forage for black bears, gorging themselves for hibernation. With food resources distributed over broad swaths of territory, it seems a bear's work is never done. Always on the move, bears cover thousands of miles of territory and trails, putting them at dangerous crossroads with people who visit their woods. Mary Beth Miller was a talented and dedicated 24-year-old athlete with dreams of representing Canada on the world stage. As a member of the national biathlon team, Miller excelled in a sport that combines cross-country skiing and precision shooting. Demanding both physical endurance and mental focus, her teammates described her as disciplined, determined, and full of life, with an infectious enthusiasm for the outdoors. Miller had been training at CFB Valcartier, taking advantage of the base's extensive trails and rugged terrain to prepare for upcoming competitions. Biathlon training requires athletes to push their physical limits, often running or skiing through wilderness areas to simulate race conditions. For Miller, the trails at Valcartier offered the perfect blend of challenge and solitude. I could find no source indicating Mary Beth brought along bear spray or a firearm, so it's assumed she brought neither. On the morning of the 2nd of July, 2000, Miller set out for a training run on one of the wooded trails within the base. It was a route she'd likely taken many times before, familiar yet still remote. Being in a remote location can be a blessing and a curse, as Mary Beth would soon find out. Miller's training run began under the quiet canopy of Valcartier's forest. The warm summer air, punctuated by bird songs and the rustling of leaves, set the tone for what should have been a routine workout. However, the Laurentian wilderness, for all its beauty, is home to one of Canada's largest predators, the black bear. As Mary Beth bounced along the trail, a black bear hid in the shadows of the bushes alongside. The 300-pound bear was large enough that not many animals intimidated it. An animal this size doesn't tend to flee in terror when surprised, and that may be exactly what Mary Beth did. Now, Mary Beth was careful to let people know when she would be out training and when to expect her back. When she didn't show up on time, her friends began to become concerned for her well-being. After waiting for Mary Beth to return, her teammates and base personnel couldn't wait any longer. They organized a foot search for her and dispersed along the trails. They were familiar with her training route and any optional route she may have taken. After only a few hours of searching, they discovered Mary Beth's corpse, still and stiff in the bushes. Her wounds were profound and horrible. Puncture wounds the size of a dime dotted her neck and were surrounded by bruised, swollen tissue. Her head had several more, clearly showing the agony and horror of her last few moments. Though she trod the trails hundreds of times, this training session had proven tragic and fatal. The news of Mary Beth Miller's death sent shockwaves through the biathlon and athletic communities. Tributes poured in from teammates, coaches, and friends, all mourning the loss of a promising young athlete whose life was cut tragically short. The incident also raised questions about safety protocols for athletes training in wilderness areas, particularly in regions with known wildlife populations. Following the attack, Quebec wildlife authorities launched an immediate search for the bear responsible. Using traps and bait, they focused their efforts on the area surrounding the attack site. 4 days later, a female black bear was captured and euthanized. Wildlife experts believe this bear to be the one involved in Miller's death based on its proximity and behavior. However, without definitive DNA testing, a less common practice at the time, absolute confirmation was not possible. There was no mention of the female bear having cubs, so it's assumed she had none. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Share membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to our episodes, and the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. While the bear's fate brought some closure, the incident underscored the delicate balance between human activity and wildlife habitats. Miller's tragic encounter served as a sobering reminder of the risks associated with venturing into bear country, even in areas perceived as safe. Black bears are the most widely distributed bear species in North America, with an estimated population of 70,000 in Quebec alone. These bears are highly adaptable, inhabiting a range of environments from dense forests to mountainous regions. Bear attacks on humans are rare. Statistically, a person is far more likely to be struck by lightning than be attacked by a bear. In Canada, between 1900 and 2000, fewer than 50 fatal black bear attacks were recorded, making incidents like Miller's exceedingly uncommon. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. What measures can athletes and outdoor enthusiasts take to mitigate the risk of bear encounters? Could regular wildlife monitoring, better signage, or seasonal restrictions on certain trails reduce the likelihood of such incidents? How might modern tools such as DNA testing or non-lethal deterrence have changed the outcome for the bear involved in this incident? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.